Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to talk about how simple the process of manifestation is. I don't know, I came to this epiphany, what was it, like a week ago? I don't know. I call it a download, you can call it an epiphany. They're all the same thing. We're all explaining the same stuff, guys. I can say I'm talking to my ancestors, you can say you're talking to your subconscious mind. Doesn't matter. We're all saying the same thing. So I realized that a lot of the time people compare manifestation to pregnancy and like the birth of a child, the creation of a child. And I was realizing that we really don't like go deep into that, because truly like, and this also goes along with how I feel like in the Bible, anytime like it says Father God, I feel like it's supposed to say Mother Father, because you need both in order to create anything, and God is creation. So in order to be creation, you kind of have to have both in order to create a baby. So also like Father, Son, Holy Spirit doesn't make sense. Mother, Father, Son, and I'm going to explain further. There's not a cloud in sight, so I don't know why there is thunder. Am I not supposed to talk about this? It doesn't matter. I'm gonna talk about it anyway. So it's supposed to say, I believe it's supposed to say Mother, Father, because that makes sense. Like that makes sense. If God is creation and he's trying to explain creation, he's going to use the most natural way to explain creation, which is pregnancy. So we're gonna go through how pregnancy is manifestation. The manifestation process is the full process of pregnancy. So I'm gonna go into details how they really compare, like down to the T. It's actually quite fascinating. Before anything, like we always skip the process of how to make a baby, right? You kind of need the sex. What do you need to have sex in order to create a child? You need the feminine and you need the masculine. So in order to create a baby, we need to have the sex. So you take the masculine and the feminine. Feminine comes first though. The desire to be a mother comes from the feminine, and then you need the masculine in order to create the actual baby. So now let's compare that to manifestation real quick. Masculine, feminine energies. I talked about this before. We really are just using both. The feminine energy, so the mother in this case, is the desire. The desire to become a mother is the feminine energy. The masculine is now the act. The act of sex is needed in order to create the desire, right? So whatever you're desiring to have, let's say you're desiring, I always talk about money, let's talk about love. You want to desire a happy marriage, right? In order to manifest the perfect person, we go back to the manifestation basics. You have the desire. The desire is to be in a perfect marriage, right? How do we get there now? Only thing you need to do is maintain the state that you already have it. So in order to maintain that state, what do you do? When that comes into play, that's like up to you. What is your technique in order to affirm to yourself that this is already mine? That is your act. Whether it's affirming, are you affirming that yes, it's already mine? Are you visualizing yourself already with them? Are you just telling yourself, if I light this candle right now and tell the moon that I am married now, then that's what you do. That's your technique. Fine, perfect. If you howl at the moon and spin around 3 times and that's your technique, great, wonderful. If your technique is drinking some water and telling yourself, hey, when I drink this water, that means that I am now married, great, wonderful. Whatever your technique is, that is your masculine. You could just be like, oh yeah, it's already mine, and then never think about it again. That's also in there. People who don't even realize that they want to manifest a relationship, also in there, because they don't realize that that's what they want, but they're chasing a feeling, and that's going to guide them here. So they're also in there. Anyways, you get it. You need both. You need the feminine and the masculine in order to now create a baby. We all know that when you are creating a baby, you have to be pregnant first, right? So you are pregnant for a while and already a mother. So technically, at the point of having sex and the baby is created, you are now a mother. You have now switched realities. You've gone from not being a mother to now being a mother. In that instant, even though you might not see a change in your 3D reality, you are now a mother after the sex, immediately after the sex. So comparing to manifestation, immediately when you do your technique and stay in that state of believing that if I do this technique, that's all I need to do. If I have this sex, that's all I need to do in order to create this baby. That's all you need to do. Literally, you're already a mother. The baby is created. We're gonna keep going because I'm not finished. So now that the baby is created, the funny thing is that this is also a great way to show how the manifestation process is different for everyone. Creating a baby is different for everybody. The only thing that's pretty much much the same is the sex has to happen. Like the creation, like using the feminine and the masculine energies together is the creation. That's needed. That's the only thing that's needed is both energies. Now that you're already pregnant, we're pregnant, wonderful. Let's move on to the next step in the pregnancy process, because this is a process, guys. We have accepted that we are pregnant. This is the moment that you guys have now reached the Sabbath state. We are now in the Sabbath state because we have now accepted that we are pregnant. We have now accepted that no matter what, the baby's coming. So I'm accepting that this is now my reality. So comparing again to the manifestation process, this is the Sabbath state. This is the point when you're like, okay, I've done all the techniques. I know that this is now mine. There's nothing more I need to do. Like, that's it. It's done. The actual manifestation part is supposed to be so quick. If you didn't know that you were already pregnant, let's say you haven't taken the test yet. What's a huge sign that people get that they are now a mother, that they are now pregnant, I should say? Morning sickness. Oh yes, morning sickness, which is what? Purging. We purge. But again, going back to the manifestation process, not everyone purges, right? Not everyone during the pregnancy process has morning sickness, but some do. Some need to experience the morning sickness in order to realize that they are now in a different reality. They are no longer childless because they are throwing up now. They are now purging the old. They're purging out the old man. This is usually the point. A lot of mothers at this point, when they're throwing up, they're like, ooh, I might be pregnant. This might be the sign. So let's say you're getting signs, 333, blah, 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 that, hey, you're pregnant. Are you getting signs? Maybe you're seeing people pregnant everywhere. Saying we're going back to manifesting your perfect partner. You're seeing a bunch of relationships everywhere. That's your morning sickness. You're now having firmer boundaries with people. That's your morning sickness. You're now hating the single life. That's your purging. You're hating the single life. Your morning sickness is I hate the single life. I actually want to be in a relationship. I see the potential and the actual goodness about being in a relationship. That's the point that we're at right now. I also wanted to say again, all of these symptoms, not everyone experiences all of these symptoms, and that's exactly how the manifestation process is. Not everyone is going to experience all these things in the manifestation process, but if you experience all of them, then that is okay, because it's all part of the process. Do you get what I'm saying? So it's kind of just supposed to be reassurance that, hey, I'm not doing anything wrong. When a pregnant person finally accepts that they're pregnant, I'm just going to give the baby what it wants. Usually, this is when the cravings start. This is when you start craving the weird things like ketchup and I don't know what's weird. Pickles on a peanut butter jelly sandwich. I don't know. You start craving these weird things. But what does everyone always tell you when you are having these cravings as a pregnant person? It's usually, hey, the baby probably wants something in that food, so keep eating it. I literally knew someone who craved baking soda while she was pregnant, and she went to the doctor, told the doctor was like, there's something in there that the baby needs, so just eat a little bit of it, don't do too much, but there's something in there the baby needs, so continue to do it because the baby knows best. This is going back to inspired actions, okay guys? So your cravings are inspired actions. Those little things that you just crave to do. Let's say, okay, we're going back to manifesting a man, your perfect partner. If you're manifesting your perfect partner, you going to a wellness retreat and, focusing on yourself, going on a vacation that you've always wanted to go on by yourself. These cravings that you have to do aren't necessarily things that you would be like, okay, me doing this is going to lead to my person. That's not a direct line to meeting someone. That is more like a direct line to being alone more, enjoying being alone more. But it's a craving that you're having because when you want to be in a perfect relationship, you would want to be balanced, the relationship to be balanced. You wouldn't want to lose yourself in the relationship. So what do you then need to do in order to prepare for the relationship? In order to give the baby what it needs, you need to follow the craving. And this is things like maybe you pick up a new hobby and that leads to your person. Maybe that hobby leads to you making friends with someone and that friend is actually brothers with your person, and obviously you going there isn't necessarily making you think, oh yes, me following this hobby is going to lead to my person, but it does in the most miraculous way. Same thing with Same thing with the cravings with pregnancy. Those cravings are now feeding the baby. The baby needs it. The baby needs whatever those cravings are. So whatever you're craving to do, your manifestation needs it. So follow the craving. Follow your intuition. When you are following what the baby needs, you are following your intuition. You are not overthinking what you're doing. You're just doing what brings you joy. So if you believe that everything that you do every single day is leading to your manifestation, so everything that I eat during the day is feeding my baby nutritious things. Even if I'm eating a pizza, it's exactly what they need. Even if I'm eating baking soda, it's exactly what they need. So you have to really have the belief that no, it's like I'm already pregnant. I'm already pregnant. So no matter what I do, I'm still pregnant. The cravings will lead you to actually nourishing the baby. Another thing that people don't like to, do when they're doing the manifestation process is resting. Rest is so necessary. Why is it necessary? Because you are creating a human. You are creating a whole baby. Your body needs rest. So when we're using that, comparing it to the manifestation process, your mind needs rest. Your mind needs to relax. Your mind needs to just do nothing sometimes. This is why meditation is great. This is why following your joy is great. This is why I don't ever encourage people to stop doing what they love. Like, if you love watching tarot readings, do it. If you love going to church, do it. Whatever brings you joy, do it. Because you are now being able to rest. Like, not think about your manifestation, because at that time, that's your rest time. That's your you time. Whatever your you time is, that is rest. Do you know what I'm saying? So you have to continue to take care of yourself during this manifestation process. You can't lose yourself in the process. You have to rest. So if ever your intuition is telling you, hey, I don't want to affirm today. I don't want to even think about this manifestation today. Fine, do it. You'll think about it again tomorrow. Take the rest. Okay, another one I want to talk about is mood changes, okay? During pregnancy, the mood changes, that happens a lot. So with that, comparing it to the manifestation process, there are going to be many times that your mood changes. There's going to be times that you're like, I don't know if I'm ready to be a mother. I don't know if my husband is going to be supportive during this. Like, are we actually going to be able to do this? There's going to be doubts. There's going to be times of pure joy. There's going to be times of anxiety. You are going to go through all the emotions during this process. Why? Because you need to purge them all out. You need to release them because it's coming. You have to get all those feelings out now, because when the baby comes, you can't be feeling that anymore. They're here. So let all your feelings out now. Purge out the feelings. This is actually going back to the purging as well. That sometimes the purging happens at the end of the pregnancy. Like, you never know. It could be like right before things happen that you're doubting becoming a mother, even though thinking like, oh, am I going to be good at this? Am I gonna fuck up my kid? Those doubts, those come up throughout the whole pregnancy process. They could come at the beginning, middle, end, and all in between. So you can doubt that you have your manifestation beginning, end, and all in between, and it doesn't matter because the baby is still coming. And this is again to just reassure you that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have feelings. Keep your focus. As long as you just understand, even if I feel these feelings, it doesn't matter. I'm still getting my manifestation. Right before the baby comes, what does the mother start doing? Nesting. Realizing that the baby's about to be here. Does anyone tell them that the baby's about to be here? You're not actually told when you're going to start nesting. The mother intuitively knows when it's time to start nesting because they know when the baby is coming. Now let's bring that to manifestation. If you know that your baby is coming, you start nesting. You start preparing for the baby. Prepare for the baby. If you're preparing for a relationship, you start thinking more like, hey, I'm in a relationship now. So if you are going shopping, maybe you're like, ooh, that would be a cute date night dress. If you are, I don't know, traveling, be like, ooh, that would be a cute vacation spot with my mans. Like things like that. You'll start thinking, you're nesting. You're not actually doing anything. You're just thinking. You're preparing your mind for the relationship, which means you're nesting now. And that's the same thing as pregnancy. You're literally preparing for the baby. And then what happens? The baby is born. This is the manifestation process. Now, some of you probably listened to this whole thing and were like, hey, I am not willing to wait that long for the manifestation process. Like, that's crazy. That's going through a lot. The funny thing is that the pregnancy process is different for everyone. I know that there are people out there who did not know that they were pregnant until the baby was in their hands coming out of them. Like, they're like, oh my gosh, I was pregnant this whole time. Here's the baby. Oh my gosh. Instant manifestation. But there's also people who know immediately from the conception that they are pregnant with no sign at all. They just know. The whole point in me saying this is that we were supposed to compare the whole process of pregnancy, not just the birthing of a baby. No, like the cravings, the morning sickness, the mood swings, the actual sex, like all of that is necessary in the whole creation process. This is why I wanted to kind of like dig deep on all the process, like the whole process, because some people can skip right over and just have the baby in their hand, not really realizing they've been pregnant the whole time. There are some that find out that they're pregnant during the second trimester. When they realize that the morning sickness is finally over, then they're like, oh my gosh, wait, was I pregnant? Let me take a pregnancy test. Then they check it. Oh, wait, yeah, I am pregnant. Oh, wait, yeah, my manifestation is coming. I was prepping for this manifestation this whole time. Manifestation is that simple. It can be very quick, or it can, you know, take the whole process. But that's the beauty of it. It's understanding that if you're anywhere in this process, understand that, okay, I'm getting my manifestation. I'm already pregnant. I already have it. It's already in my stomach. It's just cooking right now. And I'm not saying that you have to experience every single one of these things on this list. That's the point. You could skip right over. Some people don't get morning sickness. Some people don't get cravings. Some people don't have to sleep. Some people actually end up doing the same exact things that they did even before they were pregnant. Nothing's changed, but they still get their desire. So some people don't have to kill the old man and still get their desire. The whole point in this is to keep telling yourself, no matter what I do, I'm getting what I want. That's literally it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in a later one. Bye.